And game 6 is underway here, and we've got the legendary green Protoss spawning. Wait, what? Um, did I miss something, guys? What's I was away getting my drink, but what the heck? Did they agree to switch or what? Oh, wow, I'm just like, my mind's blown here. Okay. Oh, okay, so I just got word that this was in agreement that if they got to late game, or late series I should say, the players would switch races. So stay tuned, guys. This is awesome. This is game 6. Nani's up 3 games to 2. And I have to admit, this is so well-mannered of Morrow, so even if he does lose this, he is going to lose the show match. But, this is so well-mannered by both players, and I'm curious to see how this plays out. I don't know if the players know the timings of these races that much, but, oh, I'm pumped. I don't even know what to say right now. Nani here playing, as I should say, the light pink Terran at the bottom left-hand corner of Blistering Sands, and Mouse Sports Morrow is going to be spawning as the green Protoss in the top right-hand corner. So it looks like he went for a fairly early pylon, and then he went, well, probably a 9 pylon, 13 gate, and it looks like he's getting his gas up right on time, chrono boosting like a champ, not missing that. So of course, because he's so accustomed to using the mules, he's going to be accustomed to using chrono boost as well. Both originate from your command center, of course. And the gas is up, and he immediately puts those 3 probes in there, so good timing on that. Of course, I mean, a lot of the races are very similar in the sense of, mechanics and whatnot. But the macro and the micro mechanics are going to be what's going to separate these players. I think, I don't even know what to say. I haven't really seen Nani use a lot of, like, blink micro, so I don't know how his stim micro is going to be, or his stim timing. But I think that'll play a lot into it in his stim usage. And it'll be how Morrow deals with it, whether he goes for blink stalkers, I don't know. But what I would love to see this game is Morrow, like, pump out 2 robotics facilities and, like, knock out 3 or 4, what do they call, warp prisms. Yeah, warp prisms. And just totally do his drop harassment that he does with Terran, but with super speed warp prisms, like if you get that upgrade from the robotics bay. Oh, I think Morrow would be fantastic with that. His cybernetics core is finishing right on time. He's got another pylon coming up as well, so he's not going to be supply locked. He's going to get that probe out, and just about as that probe finishes, his pylon finishes as well. But warp gate tech is on the way, so we rush straight to that, like any good Protoss player should that doesn't really play the race that often. Yeah, that's what you want to say. Yeah, there you go. But if you don't play Protoss very often, just know that that's like one of your key technologies is warp gates. It takes the Zealot cooldown from 38 to I think like 33, so it knocks 5 seconds off of it, and even more for like the later units, I believe. But wow, Morrow's going very ballsy for a fast expand here. So 1 gate fast expand with warp gate tech. And now that the Nexus is underway, we're likely to see his next couple hundred minerals spent on gateways. There goes 1. Probably the 3rd one will be coming up fairly shortly. And it looks like Nani's got some kind of pressure here that maybe he's got in mind, or maybe he's just going to grab these Xel'Naga watchtowers away from Morrow. Whoa, wait. Oh, I keep getting mixed up. I see the Stalker and I think Nani, and anyways. But this Stalker is going to die off. The Marine is going to get taken out. But he's thrown out a couple SCVs, 3 Marauders, and a Marine. He's going for some kind of timing push. And I don't think Stim just started. Concussive Shells is finished. And he's just getting a reactor on his barracks now. But he is going to get to push in. The Zealot is going to drop fairly quickly. And the Nexus is not going to get cancelled in time. All these probes are going to transfer over, but they're going to get a surround here on these Marauders. No, they get a surround on the SCVs, but the Marauders just continue kiting the probes. And with that concussive shells, they probably won't be able to kite that effectively, but they are getting quite a few attacks off on this one Marauder. He may sacrifice his life for the other 3, but the Marine as well just saying, guys, let's get out of here. We caused some damage. Let's GTFO. But important to note, Nani's not throwing up an expansion here, so if he doesn't cause damage with this push, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's not going to be able to tech up as fast as Morrow now can. And Morrow with a little bit of a blunder here. Now, well, there I go using blunder. With a little bit of a mistake, not throwing down his rally point here at his natural. He's got a couple probes, just one probe idle. But really that won't matter. If we look at the income tab, he is about 5 workers up, which generally Protoss players should be. Because of Chrono Boost, they can get probes out so fast. And he is Chrono Boosting his next. He had 3 idle probes, and they are back to work. He's still working off only 1 gas right now. Excuse me, my voice is dying. A little peculiar. That is, he's only working off 1 gas. Does he have 4 workers in this gas? No. No, just, yeah, he does. 4 workers in this gas. Oh well, not that big of an issue. And Nani here using the pro way of factories, really that all good Terrans really need to use their factory for, is to build starports and to scout with. But that probe does go down. I do think he was in range that he did get to see there was no expansion up yet, although he doesn't know if there was a command center in production. But the starport is out. He is going to redo a timing push here with the medevacs. Maybe he's going to do a drop, but I think he's just going to stick with medevacs and stim and see if he can push on in. But if you look at the army tab, they are even. So even if he loses this engagement, Morrow will be able to come back from this, and it really looks like he's able to take this game. A couple nice force fields being put down to create a little bit of a smaller choke, and another nice force field to finish it off while these probes and zealots just work their way in, taking out all the units that were stuck. These stalkers need to focus down the medevacs as much as possible while the zealots take the damage from the marauders and force them back. Right now, looking back at the army tab, still about even. Morrow's a little bit ahead on minerals, but Nani's ahead on the gas because of these medevacs. They're very expensive. If he loses this one, he'll be in trouble. It's almost dead, but it's got not a lot of energy left. Morrow needs to pull back right now and regroup. He knows he has an advantage. He knows that Nani does not have an expansion. And every time I look at Terra, and I keep wanting to say Morrow, and every time I look at Protoss, I want to say Naniwa, but ugh. Anyways, it looks like Morrow's just going to keep pushing forward. He's probably going to lose quite a few of these units now because of this concussive shells. I think Morrow should have pulled back a little bit earlier. He was waiting for a couple more zealots to reinforce, but it wasn't enough. And now Naniwa is getting in a better position. I think he did lose a couple of those medevacs, so that's not good at all. The command center is finished. He needs to morph that into an orbital and fly it over ASAP and get some of those workers Maynarded and get his income back up and running, because right now he's down 43 harvesters to 29. So during that engagement and all that micromanagement, Morrow's been continually pumping 2E, 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 which is, of course, his hotkey is 2. So Nexus E, Nexus E. But that's really the only hotkeys he's got running right now. He's got hotkeys for his warp gates, but any Protoss player knows you do not need hotkeys for your warp gate. And there's a factory here scouting and a little bit of a drop coming in at the same time while Nani's going to push in at the front, but I don't think either is going to be that effective. The probes are going to surround these units. A couple zealots do get warped in, but they cannot get their attacks in because the probes are just sitting there doing such little damage. And the medevac is going to pull out with only losing 2 of those marines. And no, not microing that medevac. They might lose that to 2 of the stalkers. Big engagement going here in the middle too. Of course, Nani won that engagement just with no doubt at all. With 4 medevacs here healing his infantry, there's really nothing that Morrow can do. He's now just kiting out the zealot. And it looks to be like Nani may actually take this if he plays this right. No, a couple sentries are getting warped in as well. I would like to see Nani break down these rocks at his back door so that he can reinforce a little bit faster. Needs to be careful with these force fields. If he's not careful, he's going to get stuck and all his units are going to get trapped just like that. But right now, I'd also like to see him just throw his units in these medevacs and lift them up to the high ground. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Morrow is forced to pull off probes to fend this off. And since these zealots do not have charge, they are virtually useless against these marauders. They're just so slow, they cannot get in and do any damage. 1 force field going down, but it's not going to be enough. I really don't know what Morrow can do to fend this off, but I think he needs to get a couple Phoenix out, or he needs to get a High Templar or 2 out, or he really needs to get Blink or Charge, because all of these stalkers are just about to fall. And now that Naniwa's expansion is up and running, he does not have any gas yet, and he as well forgot his rally point, but he did just fix that as I was saying it. Looking back at the income tab, as I think this is going to play a large factor into this game. 45 harvesters to 40. Naniwa has closed the gap. He's in great position now. He's putting on lots of pressure here on Morrow, and I don't know what Morrow can really do right now. He's continually just warping in warp gate units. If he sticks to gateways and warp gates, he's not going to be able to cause enough damage. I'm really not sure. I guess neither of these players are really progressing past Tier 1, Tier 2. A couple nice force fields pinching off a few of these Marauders, but wow, nice job by Naniwa. If you didn't see that, he rushed in that medevac, picked up 2 of those Marauders, and got out and dropped them right beyond the force fields. He almost lost the medevac, but he did keep it intact. The weak one is jumping up into the fray. If Morrow's got the health bars on, he needs to pick that off ASAP. The medevacs here are just running out of energy. He's in a lot of trouble. He can't keep this up all day. 2 fresh medevacs come in, and now he's just going to be just fine. But wow, this is just a lot of back and forth action. Naniwa seems to be in a better position. He's up on food. He's up on army. He's now up on income. Because of those mules, he's at like 1,800 minerals per minute, whereas Morrow's just on about 1,200. But Morrow's not saturating his gas, so that's forcing him to stay more on Zealots than he may like. I would really like to see him throw down a Twilight Council, especially now that he just did some great force fields, keeping off these medevacs from the rest of the Marauders, and it looks like he's going to clean up this force from Naniwa, and if he's not careful, he's going to lose a lot. Wow, that just turned the tables so quickly. A couple reinforcing units didn't even engage, but the micro from Nani was just fantastic. Microing those Marauders around, keeping them away from the Zealots. A couple nice force fields, but one misplaced one caused those Marauders to be able to just back out of there unhindered. And more medevacs being reinforced, more units. Naniwa is just streaming units here to the front of Morrow's base. And looking back at the army tab, he's now double the army. He's in a lot of trouble here. Morrow really needs something else. He's just now getting a robotics facility. He needed some of those immortals. Probes coming off the line. If he loses all these probes, it's pretty much GG. Nani's at just an unstoppable forward motion here with his gameplay right now. There was a word I was looking for that I just can't think of right now, but there's just too much action going on to really think about it. But Morrow here focusing down a lot of these medevacs. Good job on that. He's killed 3 of them off. This will be the 3rd one. The 3rd one goes down. But wow, he's got 5 more. Ugh, there's just too much. Nani is in a great position. All the army now from Morrow is gone. The income is abysmal. And I think that is going to be it, guys. Morrow's going to have to GG here. Great game from these players. Pulling off even more probes to try to do some damage, but these medevacs just heal too fast. The natural goes down. His main is almost mined out. And I really don't think he's going to quit right now. I think he's just going to stick into the bitter end with his off race and continue to go. Yeah. So he's going to kill off this pylon, these assimilators. Total BM. F you, Terran Kite noob. Great micro by Nani. And microing those Marauders to kill off a lot of those Zealots. And GG's well played, shared. And yeah, great game 6. So that does mean that Nani is going to take the series 4 games to 2. A little bit of a fun game there for you in game 6. But yeah, just fantastic games, and thanks for tuning in.